Metro is a game franchise I have kept a close eye on ever since the release of the Redux version, which was basically a remaster of the game that came out 4 years prior. I know, audio was so soon, but they made it look prettier, play better, and have a few of its own issues. This is the version I want to discuss, as getting the original is now a pain in the ass. By that I mean I can't find it by looking up on Steam. So it might as well not exist, and upon booting up the game, in all likelihood, you will experience problems, as the game was released like a decade ago, so of course no one expects it to be played like a decade later. But yeah, it hasn't aged the best. But some problems like stuttering, crashing, and weird effects can usually be fixed by disabling recording software, such computer enhancements like hyperthreading and overclocking, or disabling physics in the game. Upon starting the game, you are given two main difficulty options: pardon me, pussy, baby, poo-poo, doo-doo, baby, and survival being what the game is intended for. And then it offers even more difficulty options, on top of which can be very misleading, as the game is actually easier on higher difficulties due to damage being dealt on both sides increasing with difficulty. So firefights become more on hiding and pixel peeking like you're playing Siege, balancing out the low ammo you find throughout the game. Plus, the lack of HUD only comes on the two hardest difficulties, which is a feature that I feel should be mandatory, like Dead Space's UI. God, I love Dead Space's UI. I mean, look at this. Everything you need is right here. No need for ammo counters or nothing. It's all right there, part of the world. Part of the place you are exploring. God, I fucking love HUDless UIs. Metro is so close to this, but has two shortcomings. And the fact that you can't tell how much ammo is left in your mag, and what prompts not being shown during cutscenes. As those are, I guess, also part of the HUD, but that makes some non-interactive and interactive cutscenes blend together, leading to some needless deaths. But since the top of the best difficulty is so contentious, I will declare the right enters, the Great Sage. It's survival, on Ranger difficulty, giving you good fights throughout the game with minimal HUD only for important interactables. It's the best of both worlds, especially on a brand new playthrough. I know there's a lot of info at the start and you just want to hear me talk about the game and say all the funnies, but you seriously gotta go through all this hassle if you even want to start the game. But upon starting the game, you are put into the boots of Artyom, 20 years after the bombs fall on Moscow, with everyone taking residence in the underground metro, hiding from the aftermath of the world being glassed. You as Artyom set out after your home is attacked by these rabid pitbull-looking things, and try and find the capital of the metro for reinforcements. Throughout the journey you encounter colorful personalities, irradiated monstrosities, and world building that is a master class. You start your journey by quickly being taken along with by Bourbon, a drunken fool who owes debts to everyone, before being swiftly replaced by Khan, an old wise mentor-like figure who tries to help Artyom really see the metro, showing him how to interact with the environment and being around him, and even with the metro itself, as the metro is its own living being, giving the game a unique take on an honor system. Where in most games you blow someone's head off, it's seen as a big no-no, but saving someone from getting their head blown off is good. It leaves many karma systems very easy to figure out, and really just leaving the player to decide if they want to be a good or bad guy on their playthrough of the game. Metro expands upon this basic system by offering different ways of getting karma, interacting with the metro, exploring places where people once lived. Learning the stories that will be lost to time is mainly how you get good karma. Exploring and experiencing the environment around you is how you get the good ending to the game. No, it is technically in the canon ending, but we'll talk about that later. Making an incentive to exploring the mostly linear game. It's also why Khan's part takes so fucking long. As he is trying to explain the systems of the metro to you, he also acts as your guide. And by guide, I mean roadblock. Because at times the metro can be shown to be an interesting place, with shrines honoring the dead, and mass piles of bodies of those that will never be honored, with ghosts haunting what is left, along with anomalies offering grim reminder of how close to death one is. While on the other hand, you're waiting half a minute for the 10th time just for Khan to open a stupid fucking hatch. Making exploring and learning about the environment is a genius idea that gives the player the incentive to explore the world and learn more about the world they are playing in beyond just getting more loot. But when I have to follow a shriveled old man through a dark tunnel for almost 20 minutes now, I start to lose my marbles just a little. The hand-holding is something that is a constant problem, time and time again, where you are in firefights for your life that actually is stopped by a fat ass taking forever to open a damn door. But once you are free of those burdening your journey, that is where the metro truly shines. Being alone while exploring the metro, darkness is your friend. Using the light on your nifty watch allows you to see if you're visible or not, Hiding yourself from others that aren't too kind to outsiders, passing through their stations, how you stay alive. Sticking to the shadows and dealing with people without being found is what you're trying to do for most of the game, as most of the time gunfights will erupt whether you want them to or not. Stealth is more of a means to level the playing field before a fight starts, and even in firefights, darkness can be used to reposition as enemies suddenly get cataracts as soon as you're in a dark area, making enemies lose track of you and start leaving their cover to seek you out, allowing you to easily pick off those that do come looking. And with most enemies wearing headlamps, it offers the player to see their range of vision and where they are looking, making stealth less annoying. So hiding is often how you get the upper edge in combat, but sometimes you are forced to leave the comforting darkness of the metro and explore the outside world of Moscow. Moscow is a wasteland, void of the many luxuries of the metro, like darkness, a sense that something is watching, and lack of breathable air. Yes, as in many parts you'll be forced to wear a gas mask, which needs its filters replaced every few minutes. These filters are hard to come by and often found half empty from previous users. Along with gas masks having durability and cracking with the damage you take, you have to maintain not only your health but the durability of your gas mask to survive. Along with the limited availability of these filters, it makes journeys to the surface trips a dread, constantly having to monitor these multiple factors while fearing what walks on the surface, making these surface missions often the most memorable times you have with the game, as they are a constant race against the clock to try and dive back into the metro. Back in the metro, you also find friendly stations, places that welcome people and offer to trade weapons and ammo, with everything being bought and sold by military-grade ammunition. These are special bullets that are your main currency of the game, to buy anything you need, and if the occasion arises, a second pool of ammunition to use, as the rounds are more powerful than your usual rifle ammo, and put almost anything down in a few shots, making even money a resource you can use in the middle of fights, and to take down tough enemies. Along with friendly stations being a way to listen on how the rest of the metro is doing, as many are struggling, the same as your station, and are seeking out Polis's help as well, as the journey to Polis is guarded by mutants, Nazis, and old Soviets who are constantly fighting the people of Polis and each other. But going through the summons, you see many don't want to fight for the Soviets or the Nazis, and many are fighting as there is a mandated conscription going on, with many soldiers being found just surrounding a campfire, telling old or new tales about the world. You see this time and time again, the humanity, and how many humans have their own ways and views of life. You see how soldiers who are promised glory and honor are dead at the bottom of a long, forgotten hole, just below an active battlefield. It's a cycle of death continuing on from the Great War, as death only brings upon more death. The game starts to ask if they really deserve to die for just trying to stay alive, and even inflicting harm upon others they didn't mean to. But you are one man with little standing in this world. You have nor the strength or manpower to do anything. Yet. So you stay in the shadows and make your way to Polis, finding rangers or Polis's elite soldiers who go out to help those of the metro. And that's as far as I can get without spoiling the second half of the game. Skip to here if you just want to hear what I don't like, and we'll be done. Good? Good. So, throughout the game you have visions of tall dark figures that everyone is calling the Dark Ones, a new race superior to humans that are trying to eliminate those they see as lesser. These visions show figures in various scenarios, always reaching out towards you, while also showing illusions of the past like a children's playground. It's all very weird and continues until you get to Polis to ask for help. Yeah, Polis basically says go fuck yourself. They don't want to help what are basically a bunch of hicks, so you have to go to the surface and enter the library, as your newfound friend Miller has an idea that could still work. Nuking the hell out of a giant nest on the surface should vastly reduce the population of these things. So you venture in to find one of the most terrifying enemies I have seen in a game. These steroid-injected apes are giants that can take you down quickly, but they get shy when you look at them, so they just run away. Getting past them, however, is an ordeal, as they know you are there, and wait in hiding to try and rush you when you are not looking, being in the walls or the ceiling even, leaving you constantly looking at your back and worried for your safety, and unsure whether they will just attack you or they're gonna run away. Easily one of my favorite levels in the game, worth buying the game off that alone, offering a unique enemy to sneak around with and interact with. You return with the map to a silo after a minor hiccup and become part of a kill squad that plans to retake the silo infested with mutants, going through a gauntlet slaughter while powering on the facility. Side note, I think this part's fucking awesome. It's like the only time being surrounded and guided by AI is fucking cool. Because you hear about the Rangers the whole fucking game, and you're finally part of their squad, and you're gunning down just tons of mutants while clearing the way just to find this one power source. Being all guided by Miller, who was around before the nuclear war and sees the silo as an opportunity to start the Soviet Union again. A real union of people, not being held underground by the so-called Dark Ones. Saying will also strengthen their place in the Metro to fight the Nazis and Soviets off. Being able to protect people and allow them to begin the path again for world domination. And you go along with it. You arm the missile and just have to set up the targeting system on a big-ass tower outside. Which is easier said than done. This shit is slippery. But once you make your way to the top, you have to meet the Dark Ones and evade them through a kind of boring dream sequence, doing parkour and just running until you meet Hunter, the man that sent you on this mission. He gives you a revolver, and if you have enough good boy points, a decision. To either continue the cycle of war and hate, or be the one that stops it in its tracks. You decide the fate of this newfound species as they plead for forgiveness, as they just want to protect their home. Those visions acting as a way to show signs of peace. It tells how misunderstandings can lead to people getting hurt, and without opening one's mind to peace, we will never grow past our animal instinct to attack what fears us. Metro tells a story guided by fear and loss. Everyone in the Metro is scared of the Dark Ones and their strange presence, many not even believing in them. More and more stations are either being overrun with monsters or being taken over by extremist groups, and these groups are staying together because of the fear of what might happen when they leave, whether it be execution, sent to a gulag, or being hunted by animals. Fear is what guides the Metro to what it has become, as no one knows what hides in the darkness, so they fear it. And fear is why I believe RTMs let the missiles fly, killing all of the Dark Ones in the process, letting his instincts take over and seeing the destruction he causes and the regret that soon overcomes him. For recognizing his failure to overcome such fear and wanting a second chance at redemption, setting up for the beginning of the next game, Last Light. As throughout the game you are shown people being scared of being left in the tunnels alone, and what happens to those that are left. It shows where this fear comes from, and the effects it has on the people of the Metro. Over most games that just tell you the misdeeds the bad creatures have done. Metro shows why these creatures are feared, and how many aren't even sure of this unknown race, and gives good reason why Artyom makes this decision, not piecing together their complex way of speaking until after it is far, far too late. But yeah, Metro's pretty fucking good. I mean, with pixel peeking, there's always the occasional bullshit moment where someone kills you out of nowhere. But that's just the name of the game. Just like fucking Siege. Only bad parts of the game are the turret sections. And God, everyone hates those kind of sections. There's like 2 of them being drawn out, boring, going against the entire design philosophy of the game. Gun bounce is also really off. You get like the second best gun in the game on like the 4th level. Many guns you don't even use because of low ammo pools, and trying them out can mean getting fucked over later in a gunfight. Many cool guns you want to get access to for like the final 2 missions. Kinda sucks butt, but yeah, the atmosphere, man. Top notch, worth the buy on that alone. It goes on sale like every month for like $5. It's less than a burger nowadays. God, I love not being able to afford fast food. So yeah, in conclusion, it's like Russian Fallout.